in the Arnold Arboretum, and we're going to be learning about wildlife. Many people think of wildlife as the large animals in Africa, such as lions or elephants, or the animals of the forests of North America, like elk or grizzly bears. However, wildlife is any animal that has not been domesticated by a human.
What may be surprising is that wildlife includes the smallest animal organisms, even those that can only be seen through a microscope. Spiders, insects, reptiles, amphibians, and most species of fish, birds, and mammals may be considered wildlife. Even when animals are silent or not visible, they exist somewhere around us. The difference between a wild animal, such as a fox or a bear, and a domesticated animal, such as a house cat or family dog, is that domesticated animals get all of their needs met by humans. Domesticated animals often live alongside humans in their homes and have been specially bred for and by people. For example, a domesticated dog relies on a human for their food, water, and shelter, whereas a wild dog relies on the environment around them to get their needs met, and have lived most or all of their life in the wild.
Today, we're going to learn about 3 different critters that live right here in Boston. In the Emerald Necklace alone, there are over 1,000 wildlife species. Maybe you've encountered some of them before. But before we learn about these critters, we need to take a closer look at 2 things: ecosystems and habitats. Join me and let's find out what those are.
Maybe you've heard the phrase before, everything is connected. Well, it's true. From the air we breathe, to the food we eat, to the plants, animals, and world around us. It's all part of an interconnected web of life. Even you and I are part of this complex web. This is called an ecosystem. An ecosystem is made up of all the living and non-living things in an area, which all work together and depend on each other to survive. This includes all of the plants, animals, and other living things that make up the communities of life. An ecosystem also includes non-living materials, for example, soil, rocks, and water. An ecosystem usually contains many different kinds of life. For example, in a forest, there are more than just the trees. There are animals, insects, other plants, waterways, and even tiny organisms underneath the soil. All of these things together make up a forest ecosystem. Now we are going to learn about habitat. A habitat is a place where living beings like animals and plants live and grow. Habitats provide shelter, food, and water. For example, many animals and plants make their homes near or in rivers, lakes, or ponds, such as fish, birds, deer, amphibians, and many insects. There are many different types of habitats on Earth, from forests to deserts to rivers and mountains. Each place is home to a wide variety of plants and animals, and each habitat serves a unique set of needs for those who live there. So, what's the difference between an ecosystem and a habitat? You can think of a habitat kind of like a house where the animal or plant lives, while the ecosystem is like the whole neighborhood.
So what animals live right here in Boston? First, we're going to learn about one you might have seen this spring, the American robin.
American robins are a common sight in North America, where you can often see them tugging earthworms out of the ground. Robins have warm orange breasts, cheery song, and early appearance at the end of winter. Though they're familiar town and city birds, American robins are at home in wild areas too, including mountain forests and Alaskan wilderness. Robins are an important part of their ecosystem. They serve as predators mostly of insects and worms, but also of small snakes and other small reptiles and amphibians. They are also fruit and berry eaters. Sometimes they eat a berry in one place and then fly away. When they poop, their droppings often contain the seeds of those berries, so the robin can plant them in new places. Robins are in turn eaten by foxes, bobcats, hawks, and owls. And crows and blue jays often take their eggs and babies. Robins' habitat is in gardens, parks, yards, golf courses, fields, pastures, tundra, as well as deciduous woodlands, pine forests, shrublands, and forests regenerating after fires or logging. They make their nests in trees and search for food on the ground. Have you seen a robin this spring? Up next is the eastern cottontail rabbit. This is a common creature to spot in the Emerald Necklace and in Boston, and can jump up to 15 feet. The cottontail rabbit is a herbivore, which means that it only eats plants. As part of an ecosystem, the cottontail rabbit converts the energy in plant matter into energy of animal matter, and thus is an important link in the food web. Eastern cottontails are an important food source to numerous animals, such as foxes, coyotes, great horned owls, barred owls, red-tailed hawks, copperhead snakes, crows, weasels, bobcats, minks, and even humans. These rabbits seek out habitat on the fringes of open spaces, such as fields, meadows, and farms, but can adapt to other habitats, including those of humans. If you ever see an eastern cottontail rabbit, stand very still and try to observe. The last animal we're learning about today is the red fox. This animal is more elusive and might be harder to spot, but they are common throughout Massachusetts, including in larger cities like Boston. They are recognized by their reddish coat and black leg stockings. Red is the most common coat color, but individuals may vary from light yellow to a deep auburn red to a frosted black. The white tip on the tail distinguishes this fox from any other species. These foxes are carnivores, which means that they eat other animals. In an ecosystem, red foxes help to control populations of their prey animals, such as rodents and rabbits. They may also disperse seeds by eating fruit. Red foxes can be found in a variety of habitat types, but prefer areas where different habitats, forests, fields, and brushlands blend together. If you ever see a red fox, it is important not to feed or pet the fox, even if they seem friendly.
Those were just 3 animal species that live right here in Boston, but there's so much more wildlife all around us. We all share the city together, so it's important to learn about and respect these animals so we can live side by side peacefully. There's so much to learn about and explore in the Emerald Necklace and even right outside your door. So come on out. Check out the activities below to get you started.